Fallout 2 is a 1998 role-playing video game developed by Black Isle Studios and published by Interplay Productions. It's a sequel to the first Fallout video game, which came out in 1997. So this game is literally like literally a year later, this game, Fallout 2, came out. And in this game, Fallout 2 features similar graphics and game mechanics. The game's story takes place in 2241, roughly 80 years after the events of the first Fallout game, and 164 years after the atomic war, which reduced the vast majority of the world to a nuclear wasteland. The player assumes the role of the Chosen One, the grandchild of the first game's protagonist, and undertakes a quest to save their small village on the west coast of the United States. Alrighty. So, diving into the gameplay, Fallout 2 is a role-playing video game. Like I mentioned, the player, you, get to choose by selecting one of three pre-made characters or one with player customized attributes. The protagonist, known as the Chosen One, has seven primary statistics that the player can set: strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Each statistic may range from 1 to 10, provided their sum does not exceed 40, kind of like the first one. Two other statistics set during character creations are skill and optionally traits. All 18 skills are learned abilities. Their effectiveness determined by a percentage value. Their initial effectiveness are determined by the primary statistics, but three can be tagged and given a 20% boost. Traits are character qualities with both a positive and negative effect. The player can pick up two from a list of 16 during gameplay. The player can gather experience points through various actions. For gathering experience points, the player will level up and may increase their skills by a set number of points every 3 or 4 with skilled trait levels. The player can optionally grant themselves a special ability or perk. There are 69 plus 10 special perks, which can be only obtained through specific means, and each has prerequisites that must be met. For example, pickpocket, which makes it much easier to steal from people by removing the debuffs from pickpocketing them in their line of sight, and from stealing larger items, requires the players to be level 15, have an agility of 8, and have a steal skill, excuse me, of 80%. So, like I said, so all of that gameplay mechanics that I just mentioned, it's pretty much, yeah, like beat to beat, word for word, exactly the same from the exact same gameplay mechanics from the first game. All right. So, going into the exploration and combat in Fallout 2, the player explores the game world from a trimetric perspective and interacts with NPCs, non-playable characters. Characters vary in their amount of dialogue. Some may have short messages, while others speak at length. Certain characters are illustrated with 3D models known as talking heads during conversations. The player can barter with other characters by trading unwanted values by using gold coins produced by one of the game's major factions as currency. The game has 14 companions that the player can recruit for exploration, and combat can be configured via a menu to determine their inventory as well as their preferred weapons, armor, and combat style, except for dog characters. Unlike the previous game, and little this is a little some a differentiation, unlike the previous game, and this is special. It is possible to continue playing after beating the main storyline, and the player has 13 in-game years to explore the world before the game automatically ends due to engine limits. So there is a little thing right there. A new mechanic is reputations, which dictates how the game's varies factions and settlements via the player character. Having positive reputation with an entity will usually result in rewards from leaders of the community, as well as opening up new quest lines or ways to complete certain quests that might not have been available otherwise. Negative reputation will result in many of the community's members shunning the players and refusing to work with them, and may even cause them to turn hostile on sight. There are two so yeah, just be so pretty much be positive, I guess. Be nice to like everyone, to all the NPC characters. Otherwise, like I said, like it just said, they might turn against you. They might turn against you or just straight up refuse to work with you because you've been a complete asshole to them the whole time. But yeah, there are two main quests where completion is required, although the first one can mostly be skipped. The main quests have no time limit, so good luck. There's that. Unlike the first game, but the player's reputation in their hometown will slowly decrease the longer they take to complete the first quest. Some characters give the player side quests. If the player solves them, they receive experience points and occasionally a reward in the form of money and or goods like caps. The player can utilize the Pip-Boy 2000, a portable, wearable computer that tracks these quests, just like the first game. Many quests feature multiple solutions. They can all often be completed through diplomacy, combat, or stealth, and some allow solutions that are unconventional or contrary to the original task. Based on how they complete these quests, the players can earn or lose karma, which determine how others treat them. The player's actions dictate what future story or gameplay opportunities are available and the ending itself. Combat in this game is turn-based, just like the first one, and uses an action point system, just like the first one. The number of action points that are available depending on certain perks and the player's allocation in the agility statistic. During each turn, multiple actions may be performed by the player until they run out of action points. Different actions, such as attacking, moving, reloading, interacting with objects mid combat, and accessing the inventory, consume different amounts of points. The player can rapidly switch between two equipped weapons and may acquire a diverse range of weapons, many of which can target specific areas of enemies. Melee hand-to-hand weapons typically have two attacks, swing or thrust. If the player has equipped no weapon, they can punch or kick. When a player uses up all of their other action points, they can end up they end their turn and enemies start theirs. If the player survives, they have their action points restored. Injuries and poisons can reduce the number of action points semi-permanently until the player heals themselves with stim packs, doctor bags from an actual doctor, or by resting for a substantial period of time. Um, yeah, so that is pretty much the exploration and the combat setting of the game itself. So going into um, the plot takes place. All right, so the game takes place in 2241. The primitive town of Ohio, where it suffers the worst drought on record. Faced with the calamity, the village elder, daughter of the vault dweller, tasks her child, referred to as the chosen one, to retrieve a Garden of Eden creation kit, GECK, for the acronym, for Ohio. For Ohio, the GECK, or the GECK, is a device that can create thriving communities out of the post-apocalyptic wasteland. The player, assuming the role of the chosen one, is given the Vault Dweller's jumpsuit, a Rob Co. Pip-Boy 2000, a Vault 13 water flask, a spear, and some cash to start on their mission. The chosen one finds Vault 13, the supposed location of a GECK devoid of the majority of its former human inhabitants and instead inhabited by intelligent death claws. The chosen one returns to find their village captured by the remnants of the United States government known as the Enclave. The Enclave terrorizes the inhabitants of the contiguous United States with their supreme arsenal of advanced technology. The chosen one, through various means, activates an ancient oil tanker and engages its autopilot, thus allowing them to reach the Enclave's main base of an offshore oil rig. It is revealed that the dwellers of Vault 13 were captured as well to be used as test subjects for the forced evolutionary virus, the FEV. Um, Vault 13 was supposed to be closed for 200 years as part of a government experiment, making them perfect test subjects. The Enclave modified the FEV into an airborne disease designed to attack any living creature with mutated DNA. With all generic impurities removed, the Enclave, who remain protected from radiation, could take over. The Chosen Ones free both their fellow villagers from Ohio and the Vault 13 dwellers from Enclave control and subsequently destroys the Enclave's oil rig, killing Dick Richardson, voiced by Jeffrey Jones, the President of the United States, and Frank Horrigan, voiced by Michael Dorn, a cybernetic super mutant working on the Enclave's Secret Service. In the end, the inhabitants of Vault 13 and the Arroyo Village usher in a new era of prosperity to the dying village with the help of the Gek, turning Arroyo into a flourishing city. So that is the whole plot of the game in full like spoiler detail. So yeah, I mean this game, Fallout 2, would later, be hailed for its, here's what I will say. Even though yes, it's still outdated. Just like the first Fallout game, yes. I mean, from modern perspective, modern time, modern video games, and all that, yes, it is very much outdated, but it's still fun and very enjoyable. Fallout 2, this game. I love the gameplay, I love the storyline, and it is definitely a worthy successor of the original Fallout and one of the greatest games of all time. Fallout 2 is one of the greatest games of all time. Um, I will say, unlike the first game, yeah, there are a few bugs and limited updates to the formula of the first game, which I thought they should have like updated with a patch or something. I don't know, with some sort of update, but it is what it is. But yeah, it's it's a great enjoyable game, even though like I said, I personally don't like the first two Fallout games. It wasn't until Fallout 3 where it hooked me in, and then Fallout 4 just blew the door, and I love Fallout 4. Um but yeah, like it is a bigger and better Fallout. This is a great sequel to the first game. It has more characters, more places to go, and more things to do in this game. I love the gameplay, the storyline, and it is a worthy successor to the original Fallout game. But yeah, it does have some frequent bugs here and there, and there is a lack of improvement over the first game. I felt like they could have slightly made it a little bit better this game, Fallout 2, and the character interaction as well as the non-linear gameplay. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. The writing wasn't as great. The villain, the writing wasn't that great. But yeah, yeah. Um, but I think that's all I have to say. I'm so sorry for that brief silence right there. I think that's everything that I wrote down. Yeah. Fallout 2. Thank you so much everyone for taking time to listen to my review, my thoughts on well, my breakdown and my thoughts. That's pretty much Fallout 2. I broke it down to you guys as simple as I can. um the gameplay mechanics, the plot of the story, and the legacy that this game would hold, and would that people cherish, and people love. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Everyone, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because that would help me and my YouTube channel out a lot. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.